Hey, all my geometry peeps. This is Mr. Longo, and we are going to be talking about different types of classification of angles. Now, there's four main type that we're going to talk about. We have acute, right, obtuse, and straight angles. There actually are more, but these are the four we're going to talk about in this class. So, to start out, what is an acute angle? Well, you've probably learned that acute angles are little angles, less than 90 degrees, in which you are right. An angle that is an acute has a measurement that's less than 90, but we have a little inequality that we can use, and it's 0 is less than x, which is less than 90. And that means that the angle, which we're going to have here is x, is going to be between 0 and 90. So it can't be less than 0, because if we just say less than 90, can we have a negative 40-degree angle? Actually, yes, you can, but that's for another class. We have, in this class, only positive angles. So if we're 0, that's not even an angle. That doesn't exist. That's just a ray. So an acute angle is between 0 and 90, and that's what this inequality represents. Okay? Now, I'm sure you've heard a right angle. A right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees, which is shown by a little angle box right there. Okay? So we don't even need an inequality for that. We just have x is equal to 90 degrees if we name that angle x. Okay? So a right angle is exactly, and that is denoted by this little box in the vertex corner. Obtuse. Now, you've probably heard before that obtuse is a big angle, which is correct. It is bigger than 90 degrees. We're going to call this guy angle A. But not only is it more than 90 degrees, it's also less than 180. So again, we could have a 5,000 degree angle. You will learn that in Algebra 2 or in trigonometry. So we can have really big angles. So the inequality for an obtuse angle would be 90 is less than A, which is less than 180. And that says angle A is between 90 and 180 degrees. And the last one is known as a straight angle. And a straight angle is a line. It is a 180 degree angle. So if we were to call this angle B, angle B is equal to 180. Okay? Now, for all of these, remember, angles are always going to be measured in degrees. So it is good practice to write the degree symbol whenever we're talking about angle measurements. So I want to go back and show you that. Because it's a very popular mistake that people do. They forget it. They just write B is equal to 180. Well, 180 what? 180 inches, 180 feet, or 180 degrees. So those are the four different types of angles we are going to be working with in geometry. Okay, now there's all sorts of different types of angle relationships that we're going to cover, but a very easy one now that we're talking about measurement is a congruent angle. Now, congruent angles means that they have the exact same measure. Okay, so an example here, we have three acute angles that all look very, very similar, but only two of them have the exact measurement. So if we were to give these some names, we'll call angle A, B, and C. There are two ways to denote congruent angles. One is just by writing it out. So we could say that angle A is congruent to, that's the congruent symbol, angle C. And the other way to do it is using angle markings. So we could put 2 marks on that angle and 2 marks on that angle. And there's all sorts of different angle marks that we can use. We can use 1 mark. We can use 1 mark with a little dash on it. There's all sorts of different ones we can use. I'm just going to be sticking to the most popular ones. Okay? So that is how you can specify that two angles are congruent, which means they have the exact same measure. All right? Finally, last topic for this video is finding a possible range of x values for a certain type of angle. So this example says that angle A is acute. So it might help us to draw an acute angle. We'll call it A. And the measurement of angle A is 2x minus 10. Now, this question is a little bit different because we're not just solving for x once, so to speak. This is saying find the range of x values. So there could be many different x values that would make this an acute angle. So to do this, I want you to go back and look at our range for an acute angle. It's 0 is less than x, which is less than 90. So 0 is less than x, which is less than 90. That's for a generic angle. We know the measurement now. It's 2x minus 10. So what we're going to do is 0 is less than 2x minus 10, which is less than 90. And now we're just going to solve an inequality like we learned back in Algebra 1. So back in Algebra 1, when we have these two things, now there's something you can do. If you want, you could split this up, or you can solve it all right here. Now, if you want to solve it all right here, you have to first get rid of the 10. So you have to add 10 to both the right side and the left side of the inequality. And you have 10 is less than 2x, which is less than 100. And now we have to divide everything by 2 to get x by itself, and that means we have to divide the 10 and the 100. So we have 5 is less than x, which is less than 50. So this means anything between 5 and 50 would give you an acute angle. Want to check it out? Pick a number, 10. So if you were to substitute 10 in here, 2 times 10 is 20 minus 10 is 10. Try 40. 2 times 40 is 80 minus 10 is 70. Try 60, which is outside. 2 times 60 is 120 minus 10 is 110. That is no longer acute. Okay, so anything that's greater than 5 and less than 50 would give you an acute angle. All right, that's it for a video on angle classification. This is Longo, and I'm out. See you, bye.